Fez, Morocco, specifically the Medina, which you've seen on Instagram as labyrinth walls, ceramic workshops, donkeys carrying actual freight through alleyways, and that famous bird's eye view of the tanneries. Looks incredible. Completely real, zero filter needed. But what you didn't notice is that the guide scam loop is literally baked into the architecture. And here's the mechanism. The Medina has no street signs, and that's historically intentional. It was designed so that invaders couldn't navigate it, but in 2024, that same feature is commercially exploited every single day. Because the helpful locals who appear when you look confused are often commission linked to specific riads and leather shops. In human terms, that means every wrong turn has a financial destination attached to it. And the tannery viewing platforms, the exact spot everyone photographs, are attached to leather shops that make it socially very difficult to leave without buying something. And here's the detail that actually matters. Which gate you enter through changes everything. Bob Boujlou drops you into the tourist circuit immediately. Bob Arshif drops you into the working city, and a legitimate riad stay typically comes with a printed map and a list of what to ignore. So the twist is this. Once you crack the layout, which takes roughly 1 day, the Medina becomes one of the most navigable and genuinely cheap old cities on Earth. The scam only works on day 1, and the city rewards you on day 2. But the next destination has a different kind of wrong entrance problem, and this one doesn't cost you money. It costs you your whole first night. Tbilisi, Georgia. You've seen the sulfur bath district, the rooftop wine bars, the crumbling Soviet buildings with wild wooden balconies, and the prices that seem almost too good to be real, and the prices are real. Natural wine bars in Tbilisi often list glasses for under $5. That part's accurate. But what you didn't understand is that Tbilisi has a hard geographic split that determines whether your night ends well or ends with you standing on a dark street at 2 a.m. with no rideshare in sight, the Fabrika and Vera side of the city versus the Old Town Abanotobani side are effectively two different cities after midnight. And the Meteki area in particular has almost no rideshare coverage late at night. The Sulphur Bath district closes earlier than tourists expect. So if you're navigating between the two sides after midnight, you're looking at surge price taxis, if you can find one at all. The infrastructure simply hasn't caught up to the hype. But the twist is that Georgia offers 365-day visa-free entry for most passport holders, making it one of the lowest friction entries on the planet. You just show up and exist legally for a year, so the barrier to going is almost zero. The barrier to going smartly is just reading this. And the next destination has perfect infrastructure. It just uses that infrastructure to charge you 3 times what it should. Lisbon, the trams, the pastéis de nata, the light in the afternoon that makes every photo look color-graded. You've seen all of it, and it's real, but what you didn't see is the tourist tax layered into every single interaction inside Alfama. And the mechanism here is that Lisbon has quietly become a dual-price city. Locals shop in Muraria and Intendente. Tourists pay the Alfama and Barro Alto Premium, and Tram 28, the one everyone photographs, is slower than walking, packed with pickpockets, and primarily a tourist experience rather than actual transport. Uber is significantly cheaper and faster for actually getting around. The Cascades train line runs west along the coast for roughly $3.45 and puts you on beaches that don't have the crowd density of the city center. And accommodation in Príncipe Real tends to be calmer and often cheaper than the Alfama options that are being boosted by every travel influencer currently alive. So the twist, the authentic Lisbon that people come looking for, is basically a stage set in one specific neighborhood, and the actual city is 20 minutes away and costs half as much, and the next stop is almost impossible to stage because the chaos is literally the point. Ho Chi Minh City, the scooters, the street food smoke, the sensory overload that hits you leaving the airport. You saw the chaos and maybe it attracted you or maybe it scared you, but what you didn't understand is that the chaos runs on a very specific informal logic that rewards patience and absolutely punishes urgency. And the hidden lever is the price split between tourist-facing markets and street-level local eateries. Tourist pricing is openly tiered at Benthan Market, but walk 2 blocks off the main drag and the same bowl of po has no atmosphere tax attached. District 1 is the tourist envelope. Districts 3 and Binthan run roughly half the price with the same food quality. The Grab Bike network makes almost any district reachable for under $2. And the airport taxi scam is concentrated at one specific unofficial rank near the exit. Licensed Vanison and Mylin taxis are the ones you want. And the twist is that once you match the city's pace instead of fighting it, the whole thing opens up. It just doesn't reward people who want it to slow down for them, and the next city also rewards systems over charm, but it does it with bureaucracy rather than speed. Tokyo, vending machines, neon precision, the trains that actually run on time, the safety that feels almost theatrical. But what you didn't see is that Tokyo's solo friendliness is an accident of infrastructure design, not hospitality culture. The city doesn't go out of its way to help you. It simply requires almost no human interaction to function. A Suica or Pasmo IC card solves all transport. A Konbini solves food, cash, printing, package pickup, and minor life administration. Google Maps has near-perfect transit accuracy, and 7-Eleven ATMs reliably accept foreign cards when most other machines won't, but cash is still genuinely necessary in many restaurants and at smaller shrines. And the loneliness reputation is accurate in a specific way. Solo dining is completely normalized. You'll eat at a counter facing a wall and nobody thinks anything of it, but deep social connection requires actual effort and time. Staying in Shinjuku versus Shimokitazawa is a different city in terms of experience, not just vibe, and the twist is that Tokyo is the safest possible city to make beginner mistakes in. Nothing bad happens when you go the wrong direction, but it's also the loneliest if you're expecting the place to emotionally meet you halfway, and the next city will absolutely meet you halfway. The question is whether it's genuine. So, Medellin, Colombia, the eternal spring climate, the cable cars climbing up to the comunas, the transformation narrative that every travel publication has written at least 3 times. You've seen the glow-up story, but what you didn't understand is that the safety improvement is hyper-geographic, block by block, not citywide. El Poblado and Laureles are genuinely low-risk tourist zones. The metro cable cars to the comunas are generally safe during daylight hours, especially in a group or guided context, but the safest city in Latin America framing circulating online is marketing adjacent at best. Drink spiking in El Poblado bars is a documented and recurring issue, particularly for solo travelers. The weather is real and consistent at roughly 18 to 25 degrees year-round. And the cost of living is still relatively low, but has risen noticeably since 2021 as the nomad influx pushed prices up in the tourist-facing areas, and the twist is that Medellin rewards people who respect its complexity and move deliberately. It punishes people who treat it like a backdrop for content, and the next destination has zero safety ambiguity. The problem is, it's almost too comfortable. Chiang Mai temples, the moat, $6 massages, a co-working cafe on every corner. You saw the affordable paradise. And it's largely real, but what you didn't see is the bubble economy that's formed around long-stay foreigners. The city has effectively split into a local city and a foreign-facing service economy. Prices in the Niman area and the Sunday walking street are low globally, but 3 to 5 times local rates compared to what's available on the east side of the moat. Warorot Market and the noodle shops in the local residential streets give you the actual price profile of the city, and the air quality issue from burning season, which typically runs February through April, is genuinely serious and seriously underreported in travel content. Arriving in March, expecting the landscape you saw on Instagram is a real disappointment. And the twist is that outside burning season, Chiang Mai is one of the best solo travel bases on Earth. It's just season dependent in a way that nobody's reel will tell you. And the last destination has zero burning season, but it has a different kind of invisible problem. Iceland, the Northern Lights, a waterfall every 10 kilometers, the midnight sun, landscapes that look post-processed but aren't. The hype is enormous and unusually. Here's the twist first. It's mostly accurate. Iceland is one of the rare places where the physical reality actually matches the promise, but the invisible problem is financial food and fuel run roughly 2 to 3 times Western European prices, not dramatically more on the landscapes themselves, since most of the famous sites are still free to access. The Ring Road is drivable solo in 7 to 10 days with a rental, but rental insurance is non-negotiable, given the gravel road conditions that will absolutely find your tires. Reykjavik is walkable and safe but closes early for a capital city, and the northern lights are only visible roughly October through March with zero guarantee on any given night, because overcast skies are common and the lights don't negotiate with your itinerary. So the final twist is that Iceland is worth it, the tax is financial, not experiential, and if you go in, go prepared to spend. Every destination on this list can change something about how you see the world, but not randomly. Each one has a specific mechanism, a specific season, a specific district, and a specific type of traveler it rewards, and the places that change lives the least are the ones people arrive at passively, expecting the city to do the emotional heavy lifting for them. So if one of these is already on your list, drop it in the comments and I'll tell you the one thing not to do in the first week, because that's usually the thing that breaks the whole trip.